Welcome back to Nowhere Fast Garage. So ever since I first changed the rear brakes on this Camaro many months ago, I was getting a problem with the right rear, like an overheating situation. In fact, right after I changed the rear shoes and drums, I took it for a test spin around the neighborhood, and the right rear got so hot that smoke was coming off of it. So I thought I had improperly installed the brakes or not adjusted them right. So I took everything apart. I got new hardware. I adjusted the brakes all different ways, and I didn't get smoke anymore, but that right rear wheel was always getting hot, even if I just drove the car around the block a short distance. And then a fellow was watching Vice Grip Garage one day, and I saw Derek checking, feeling the wheels if they were hot on a car that maybe had been sitting for 20 or 30 years, and he drove it for the first time. And then it occurred to me, he said he was checking for wheel bearings because then the wheel would get hot, and I had never thought of that. So thankfully Derek put that out there and I saw it. So anyway, I jacked up the Camaro and turned the rear wheels, and I could hear like a bumpy grinding noise from the right rear. So I'm pretty sure I got a bad wheel bearing. Turns out you have to, on these, you have to have a puller, a bearing puller, which I didn't have. So I bought a slide hammer, bearing puller, and also a bearing installer. So it's a Friday, it's early, but I got work today, so I'm going to try to see if I can get this done before I have to go into work. But knowing how things usually go, it might take 2 weeks. I don't know. We'll see. So to get the axles out, you have to remove this little bolt, which will release this pin, which will allow the axles to slide in towards the center. And then there's some C-clips that have to be removed. So the first thing I got to do is get that bolt. Here's the C-clip. It fits in this groove. Took the magnet. This little groove right there. Just pulled it out. Here's the bearing. First we'll try to grab the seal, this hook attachment. Never done this before. This is my new slide hammer tool. Going great. Can't even get the seal out. You know, things are going well when you got pretty much every tool out of the toolbox. Let's do one thing. Ah, really? That needed to be that difficult? Wow. That's something special. Okay, here we go. Looks like it's coming. All right. That actually worked pretty good. Feels kind of smooth, but I can't imagine this problem would be caused by anything else. Guess we'll find out soon. So getting this whole thing apart took me about an hour and 20 minutes, but I'm the slowest person probably ever gonna find working on a car, so I would say most people probably get this done in half that time. So here's what I got to do this job. I got a new gasket for the rear axle cover. Got some gear oil. I might need one, I might need two, I'm not sure. It's got a flag on it, so it says high performance, so it should be really good. I actually bought bearings and seals for both sides because I figured, well, I have it all out, might as well do both, but I don't know if I feel like it. Might just might just wait on that other side. Here's the new seal, Timken. Bearing. I don't know if I'm supposed to grease these. It says USA on it. That should be good. I guess it can't hurt to throw some grease in there. So now we're going to clean off. Somebody put this orange RTV on here, and that's probably going to be the worst part of this whole deal. also got this bearing brace, seal driver, installer, do it all kit. It's going. Felt like it bottomed out. Yep. It's in. Crooked. That's not good. Going in rather severe angle. Let's try that again. Better. Done. Go. Engaged. C-clip is in. One of the spider gears is coming out. Hopefully roll it back to where it needs to be. Okay. Yeah, you just turn the axle and it kind of rolls back in. Now I get the pin and the bolt. Pin. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Turn the axle a little to line everything up. Can't seem to find the bolt now. It's under here somewhere. I'm gonna turn the ring gear around to access the bolt and the pin so it can slide out. So I'm using this 3/4 wrench. Whoop. Hang in there. It's not exactly easy to turn this whole apparatus. I think this is where the bolt goes. No, it goes up on the top. Oh! The bolt is still hanging in there, which is why I couldn't find it. Hang up in there. Okay, so I finally got this pin back in after wrestling with it for 15-20 minutes maybe. To get everything in alignment, I found you can start taking a little spin on the... You could spin those side gears a little bit to try to help everything line up, and eventually that did the trick. There's some grooves in these side gears, which is probably not correct, but we're just going to pretend we didn't see that. Also, there's an interesting situation here on the fill plug. There's some kind of substance all around it, so that's making me think there's some kind of problem there, but we're gonna have to take it off to fill it, so we'll see. I got some of the black RTV and I sealed up the gasket onto the rear cover, and now I'm gonna put some of the RTV housing, put the bolts on. Get the cover screwed back on, and the drain plug. I ended up getting it off with just more leverage, a little longer ratchet extension, longer ratchet, and filled up with the gear oil until it's oozing out. So now we know it's full. Used about 2 of these containers. So we got everything back together. It probably took about 2.5 hours to get everything back together, and probably I got work now, so I'm probably not gonna have time to do any test drive today, but maybe tomorrow. What's so funny? So we tested out the axle bearing and all seems good. It's driving smooth. Came back. Wheel is cool, just as cool as the other side anyway, and so we made some progress with the axle bearing, but then also on that test ride discovered that now I have a coolant leak coming from somewhere. Doesn't seem to be from the front radiator area or the overflow tank, so it's somewhere further back here. As usual with the Camaro, it's always one step forward and then one step back. Seems to be never ending, the amount of things that go wrong with this car, but I'm just gonna keep trying. Anyway, I'm gonna wrap up this episode. Thanks for watching. See you next time.